Previously on Historical Geocaching, my dad and I are enjoying a ranger talk at Moccasin Bend National Archeological District in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Most recently, Ranger Young has explained to us that while the Cherokee Indians tried to adopt American ways in order to keep their rightful land, it wasn't enough. The Indian Removal Act of 1830 still required the Cherokee to leave by 1838. Some of the Indians saw the wisdom in leaving early under their own power, but the vast majority fought the U.S. government tooth and nail.
But let's think about it on the opposite side. What did those few thousand people that left early believe? What do you think that they may have believed? Why did they sign that treaty? Why did they go peaceably? Why? Why would they feel the need to sell out their brothers and sisters? Why?
Because they thought that they might get better terms leaving on their own terms and negotiating their own terms for removal. And they thought that at this point perhaps it was inevitable that they were going to be removed, so it wasn't worth fighting any longer.
Yeah, so I mean that's exactly right. I won't say that Michael's read up on this or anything. But that's it. They believed that they saw the writing on the wall. They believed that they saw the handwriting on the wall. And that the best thing for them to do was to try to make the best of a bad situation. And if it meant giving up their ancestral lands here to get lands out west and to maybe get a leg up, then that was the thing that they believed was right. The unfortunate thing for them was that because they supported that treaty and because they signed the land away, they basically had a death warrant signed for them. Because the Cherokee Nation, they had given up so much land prior to the 1830s that the Cherokee Council had devised a way for individuals not to sell land. It was a communal thing. The council had to agree on any treaties, on any land selling, any land distribution that went on. And so what these few did is they sold the entire nation out. And what do you think could happen if you didn't go through the council and it wasn't a communal decision? You could be put to death. And we'll see that that may very well be the case for some of these Cherokee. What I want us to do is we'll probably stop once or twice on the way to the Tennessee River. But I want us to think as we walk. I want it to be kind of contemplative of what's going on here in this region. What are they fighting for? What is the controversy that's going on that we just talked about, and how would we handle something like that? How would we handle not only an inward rip of our nation, but how would we handle United States troops coming in and moving us out forcibly? How would we have handled that? Do we still have to handle things like that? Even though there's inner controversy in the Cherokee Nation, there's a controversy with the United States government and the Georgia government in 1838 as well, because they wanted the land. They wanted that property. And they were willing to do whatever it took to get it. But in addition to property seizure, it has to do with ethnicity. You see, controversy often bubbles up because of race divisions, because of ideological divisions, because You're here and we want it. So as we walk along, think about those things. Think about the Cherokee controversy. Think about the controversy between the United States and why European Americans were wanting the land for their own personal gain and what they were willing to do for it. And today, do we do the same thing? Have we learned our lesson? Have we learned what we did to the Cherokee and other civilized tribes, the other 4 civilized tribes in this area? Have we learned from that as a country, as a people? Is inequality still something that we're fighting over? Because the Cherokee were not like the European Americans that were coming in. The Cherokee were different. They had different beliefs. They had different thoughts and ideas and ways of doing things, but they tried to assimilate but keep their culture alive. And they were removed because of greed and because they were different. Do we still do things like that today? Do we still fight wars over that today? Do we still disagree with each other over things like that today? Or have we learned from what we've done in the past to not make those mistakes again? Just some food for thought as we walk along.
Next week on Historical Geocaching, we learn more Cherokee Indian history and actually walk on the Trail of Tears.